I mean, dude. Let's be What's up? What's going on? We are here Wednesday night. Going to maybe do a live watch of AEW Dynamite starting at 5 o'clock. I was driving fast to get here. The streets of Beverly Hills be buck wild right now. No, Beverly Hills, Weezer. Beverly Hills, that's where I want to be. Living in Beverly Hills. So a big night tonight, AEW. You got the Young Bucks going to make some kind of reveal about the All In London backstage incident between CM Punk and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. AEW pinned by WrestleMania. Yeah, but everyone knows that, Kongzilla. I don't think anyone thought AEW was going to outdo WrestleMania. It's just not very believable. So I think we have some Dabbleverse people in here. I think you all are from the Dabbleverse, but that's fine. You know, we are Dabbleverse adjacent in this stream. Thank you very much. Let's make sure the Wi-Fi is up. We're going to switch over to my iPhone. I care about, we got someone, we've got Ross Incognito messaging me from Dynamite right now. I've got boots on the ground at Dynamite right now. Let me hold on here, see if they have any so we've got a reporter there in the house. So now for those of you who don't like AEW wrestling, you know, we're gonna see how it goes. I gotta have the volume up a little bit on the TV. I don't know if that's going to distract you guys from your enjoyment of my soothing baritone vocals. But we'll give it a shot. And if it's too annoying, I'll just end the stream and maybe come on after Dynamite. It is a very good Dynamite tonight. Let me send out a tweet. You know, I'm a one-man army right here. Pre-game. It is a great shirt. You can get it on their website as well. Kind of old school, like 70s ringer shirt. So, all right. Sorry, I have to do this while let's just put that on there. We go right there. All right, we got a tweet out. Do you have any backstage fight footage from the Comedy Store? I don't, but I've been witnessed to several fights. I was there when Machine Gun Kelly tried to fight Sam Tripoli. I was there when Leslie Jones tried to. I don't know if she necessarily tried to fight Josh Martin, but they had an issue. I'll just say that. So um, I mean, the Comedy Store. Comedy. Is full of egos. Hey, do I think I'm very funny? I absolutely do. So I walk into a room. I'm like, hey, man, I'm the cock of the walk in here, and then there's someone else who thinks they're as funny or funnier than me, and so. I mean, I met him once at Air One. I mean, he seemed kind of quiet when I met him, but I think he was a little amped up, if you know what I'm saying, at the Comedy Store. Like, and here's the crazy. He's crazy. I'll give him that. Like, the whole thing between Tripoli and Machine Gun Kelly was Machine Gun Kelly just walks into the main room, green room, which this is going to sound silly to non-comics, but like that's hallowed ground. The main room, green room, especially during a show. Nobody's supposed to be back there except for comics and their friends. Um, and so, like, it's literally the equivalent. If I was at AEW Dynamite tonight and I just walked into the locker room, they'd be like, "Who the fuck are you?" And Machine Gun Kelly was not a fan of Eddie Bravo doing stand up. What up, Sour Milk? So, it was just one of those things. I think he said something to the effect of, "This guy sucks. I want to go on stage." And, I don't know what Tripoli, I don't know what his response was, but it was pretty much like, "Get the fuck out of here." And like, they almost came to blows and then they made up. I'm sure Machine Gun Kelly, once he calmed down, was like, I'm not really accepted up here. Did O'Neal fight Johnny Zapp? No, I think O'Neal fought Luis Gomez at some point. Is it like Chad sitting at the comics table at the cellar when he's not passed? Yeah, like I would never sit at the comics table at the cellar unless I was invited. So not quite the same, but since Chad is recognized as a comic, I could see Florentine waving him over, going, "Hey, sit down with us." But for an audience member to just get up and walk into the green room, even a famous audience member like Machine Gun Kelly, uh, see, this is what I want. Trip to my Lou, $5, AEW style. Will Tony put a tombstone on his company tonight? We've got 22 minutes to figure it out. Trip to my Lou. See, this is what I like about my stream. Now we can talk a little bit of wrestling. Dr. Chow, what up, dude? We're going to talk wrestling here, which I don't think you're a big fan of, but your participation is always welcome. What does it mean to be passed? I hear it so often. Well, let me get to the tombstones. I'll answer your question right after Tombstone, since he paid for the privilege. It really depends on what is shown tonight. If they show, it's common knowledge that CM Punk choked Jack Perry out. But if they show like CM Punk jumping Jack Perry, if they show the two of them walking up to each other like, "Hey, motherfucker," and then just CM Punk sucker punches him, kind of makes Jack Perry look good. However, if they show, a square up, "All right, motherfucker," and then CM Punk kicks his ass, it doesn't really do Jack Perry any good. Makes him look kind of weak. I mean, CM Punk, I said it last night on the stream. Um, you know, he's a shitty UFC fighter. I mean, he got killed, let's be honest, in his two fights. Mickey Gall and I forget the other guy. And, Mickey Gall was a prospect at that time. And I met him once. Great guy. And so, he was a bad UFC fighter. But, a bad UFC fighter is going to kick anyone's ass in the stream. Let's put it that way. So I don't know what Jack Perry's fighting ability is, but it wasn't good from the results apparently. But if they show CM Punk getting an unfair advantage. Maybe someone was holding Jack Perry back, and CM Punk choked him out, like had an advantage of some sort. Now I know what I would do. And, I know that there's some NDAs involved, so you probably can't do this, but I would have the Bucks watching with a mysterious figure in the background. And then at some point, the mysterious figure takes off the mask and says, "I'll take it from here." And it's Jack Perry. I mean, this is a great way to bring back Jack Perry. So, it could bury the company trip to Mylou if, like, it's just a sketch and they just did this to get eyes on the set tonight. I mean, listen, this is probably one of the most talked about AEW Dynamites that I can recall. And although WrestleMania is obviously the number one topic in the wrestling world right now, I think the desired effect of having people talk about AEW Dynamite has been achieved. Now they have to deliver, and it's rare that AEW delivers. So, my lost interest, your question, what does it mean to be passed? Like at the Comedy Store, what it means is to get paid to do stand-up comedy at the Comedy Store. Your name has to be on the wall. It's like the Stanley Cup. It never gets taken off. I think in the history of the Comedy Store, 52 years, it just had its 52nd birthday. One comic's name has been taken off the wall. So you have to be a real fuck up to have your name taken off the wall. So like at the Cellar, they don't do the names on the wall, but it's who's been, like, I'm not past there. So I would not be allowed to do stand up there unless I was auditioning to get past. I forget whose name came off the wall. In all honesty, I really don't remember. I just remember hearing about it. What up? Are you ready to rock? So, like at the Improv, they don't really pass people. If you're famous enough or whatever, you can perform there. Like at the Laugh Factory, you don't have to be passed there to perform there. So it's kind of an honor to have, especially at the Comedy Store. Like, even though I think there's too many names on the wall, like I think there's too many people being passed right now. Like there's people getting passed once a month now. When Tommy Morris, the old talent coordinator, got fired, I was the first person passed in the new era with Candace Thompson. And Adam Egget, who's now the booker of the Mothership, was the new booker. And, it's very humbling and honored to have waited 14 fucking years to get past there. And then Roast Battle took off right after that. So I was a good 2014, 2015 was a very good time for me. I started getting on the cartoon I was on. I might not have had a better year since, so I'm trying to make it happen. Well, you gotta have to perform there, Dr. Chow, first. And no offense, but there's about 200 people ahead of you. So it ain't gonna be by the end of 2025, bro. If I could dress up as the Ultimate Warrior, I've done it. If they take off all the pedophiles off the wall, how many are we looking at? I can't. I'm on a gag order. My name. Put it this way: my name would still be on the wall. Well, that's the funny thing. Is one time one of Red Bar's fans put Red Bar's name on the wall, and the R at the end was kind of wonkily done, so I thought it said Red Band. So I called Red Band up saying, "Hey, congratulations," like I do all paid regulars, new paid regulars. And I said, "Hey, congratulations." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I saw your name on the wall at the Comedy Store." He's like, "What?" And I took a picture of it. It's like, "That's Red Bar." I'm like, "Oh, sorry." I definitely wasn't trying to clown Red Band. He's one of my best friends in comedy. So, Kevin, unblocking and banning. Oh, I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not, when I don't get a super chat, all the questions in the stream, they look the same to me, so I'm skipping around. I don't know who Vince Champ is. I've heard Kevin talk about him, but I don't know. Oh yeah, no problem. I mean, most comedy clubs don't have a um, like a system like the Comedy Store, but you can perform there if you're not passed. You just don't get paid. Like Brendan Schaub was on a lot of Sam Tripoli's show, but he didn't get paid. Well, Tripoli might have paid him out of his own pocket, but he didn't get a check from the Comedy Store. Um, so it's like the one time I loosely roast battled Jeremy Piven. He was pulling the nobody knows who you are, bro. I'm more famous than you are. And I just looked at him like, okay, you're more famous than me. You've been in more movies than me. You've been in more TV shows than me. But let me ask you a question. Who gets paid by the Comedy Store to be here? And that shut him up real fast. Uh, yeah, I mean, Red Band's one of my best friends in comedy. And Red Bar, I've spoken with a few times via the DM. Seems like a nice guy. Well, he was paid for comedy and paid a lot. Trust me on that one. I mean, comedy clubs just want you to be a draw. I'm not going to say they don't care if you're not funny, but they want people in seats buying 2-drink minimums, and hopefully in the late show more than 2 drinks. So, like a guy like Schaub, his fans don't care if he's funny or not. They just want to meet him backstage at the meet and greet. So, that's why Schaub got booked so much. I mean, he walked into a medium-sized fan base of his fans from UFC, and then Rogan obviously had him on the podcast a lot, so he walks into that gigantic fan base, and there you go. Yeah, I mean, I've heard the name Vince Champ. I just don't. I don't know his story, to be honest with you. I mean, I think he was an East Coast comic who was accused of sexual assault or something. So Schaub is a gang of thick boy fans. Yeah, but he has a fan base, and for him it's perfect because like he's not very funny, and that's no shade towards him, but he's not. I mean, even he must know that, but he's still going to get paid to do stand up, and he can just tell MMA stories, and people, oh my god. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know how close of friends I am with Annie, but she's done my podcast before. We don't see each other a lot, but yeah, we're not enemies. Yeah, and I've known Todd. I've known Todd probably longer than Annie has. Yeah, we don't do the Schaub talking here, Dr. Chow. You're gonna have to cross over to I don't know, Ray's stream for that talk. I don't do the Brendan Schaub lingo in here. I'm friends with everyone pretty much, except for 1 or 2 people, which is a pretty good track record if you can be friends with almost everyone in LA comedy, the viper's nest of LA comedy. I've got 2 enemies in LA comedy, and I think you both know. I think you know who they both are. So, there you go. All right, we got 11 minutes till AEW Dynamite, so we're gonna do a live watch. So I'll turn the volume down as far as I can, but I gotta hear it, and then we'll see what happens. Yes, I would say 1. I'm on a gag order, so we'll just say his last name rhymes with Moss. Moss. Is Dante still in comedy? I don't really keep up with what he does, so I don't know. What brand are your glasses? Are you talking to me, Dr. Chow? These are, let me see. I think they're Dita, if I'm not mistaken. Wasserman. I'll give my eye doctor a plug. Now, I don't know if he does mail order stuff, but Dr. Mark Chung of West Hollywood Optometric, me and Axl Rose are the celebrity clients. Great eye doctor, but he also sells glasses, frames, and whatnot. So I don't know if he would give you guys a discount or whatever, but tell him I sent you. Yes, it is a new gaming chair. Let's see. How do we do this here? Very comfortable. I mean, it's I mean, I have good posture, but like I can sit back like this. I can read the stream. Well, I don't care if they're Hollywood. I mean, I have a big head, Dr. Chow, so I have to have like big frames. Like a 9.5 is another eyewear manufacturer that I really like. Um, it is very comfortable. You can like rock in it a little bit. And obviously I'm trying to make my stream a little more visually pleasing to you guys. I know that having my kitchen in the background is not the best look, but I think you guys know I'm trying. I got my berry jelly picture there by Joe Urel, very funny LA comic. You're right on that, Dr. Nova. Of course, we have the iconic Earl sign made by Radical Neon. That's Radical with a K. Got the Sting paraphernalia, the signed Kiss disc, Vince Neil right there. We got Jack Lambert right there. That will definitely be behind me when I have a wall behind me. Of course, we got Yarmir Yager right there. Baby Earl, they used to call Yager, or I should say they called me Baby Yager when I had the free flowing hair and the Jofa helmet. 8 minutes till AEW Dynamite, guys. 8 minutes, and I will apologize to you now if you don't like professional wrestling. Specifically, you got any road beef lined up for Hackamania? No, I'm certainly not going to Hackamania to get laid, which is when you get laid, typically. Uh, I'm off the market right now, but I'm a lone wolf. But I appreciate that, Dr. Chow. I mean, I'm looking forward to Hackamania. Want to do the shows, and I probably won't participate much in the podcast. I just have no interest in talking about Stuttering John or Shuley, who I'm friends with, or anyone else. Um, in those podcasts, once the booze and other things are ingested, it's just going to be, let's talk about Stuttering John and Steel Toe. I'm good, man. But I'm looking forward to meet Melton. I've been on shows with him, but I don't believe we ever talked. I've actually never met Ray before. I've never met Pat Dixon. I am friendly with a few of the local Vegas comics who will be there. I think Alex Kool-Aid Ansel and Adam Dominguez. Um, and I'm trying to think. I'm sure there'll be some more local Vegas comics, to bite the bullet, go on first, get the crowd going. So I'm going there for the stand-up shows because a lot of you guys are like, well, Earl, how can you be anti-Dabbleverse, but basically be doing a Dabbleverse comedy show? I go where the shows are. Well, I mean, Chris, it's just not my thing. Like, it's old. How many times can you call Kevin angry or Chad a thief or, um, Shuli cheap or Bob crazy or steel toe money panhandling? I literally just went over the Dabbleverse in under 10 seconds. And it's been that way for like 2 years now. So, someone told me the other night that Kevin was talking bad about me, and I know about maybe 2 months ago, John from Win by Two was roasting me, saying I'm boring. Like, I've got multiple gangbang stories. I don't think that's boring. So when you're down, and I said this 1,000 times before, but when you're down to roasting me in the Dabbleverse / Dabbleverse adjacent world, it's over. mark my words, in 6 months, the Dabbleverse will implode. I'm telling you that right now. Because who's after me? Nobody. And like, it's over, guys. Speaking of being over, if you want 20% off your Hackamania tickets, you just go to hackamania.com and put Earl in. DJ, I'll Venmo you a 5-spot if you give us a live tour of the shithole you call home. Thanks. Well, my shithole is worth $1.1 million. I'll tell you what, DJ. Let's do this. I trust Dr. Chow. Dr. Chow and I are friends, but we're not necessarily best friends. First of all, I need a lot more than $5. I don't ask for money on here, but if you want to see an outline of my home, you got to ante up a little more than 5 hooves. So here's what we're going to do, DJ. We'll both Venmo or PayPal Dr. Chow $100 each. Dr. Chow, you will give Dr. Chow, DJ, your home address. I will give Dr. Chow my home address. Dr. Chow will then put that home address from both of us in Redfin, and we'll see whose home is more valuable. And the winner gets $100. I'll be getting the $100. Trust me on that one. But hey, I welcome trolls. Troll away, DJ. Obviously, I have 14 people in the stream. Friend or foe, I welcome you all. 100% mutual respect. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Stevie Lou's going to work out as a moderator. He's in too deep, as I like to say. Hold on, let me see what time it is. It's 4:58. Let me set up my TV for AEW Dynamite.
And finally, Chris Colt. Colt Magazine was, at the time, one of the early underground gay publications.
Now, be honest with me. Is that sound too loud for you guys? It probably is. It probably is. Let me turn it down a little bit. Okay, so it is DirecTV. If you go on Redfin and put in my home address, it's already been appraised at 1.1. I live literally just outside of Beverly Hills in probably the second most expensive part of the city. So DJ, just put up or shut up, baby. I know, it's crazy. You wouldn't believe the tax bill I had to pay today living in California. 5 figures. Come on, Dr. Nova. We don't talk like that. It is DirecTV remote. I have no secrets. Okay, so the sound doesn't bother you guys. All right. Well, B40, and I believe you're new to the stream. Welcome. I hope you're coming in from the AEW talk here. It's about right now the tail end of the Big Bang Theory is happening. Well, I would say the 3 most expensive neighborhoods are Bel Air, Beverly Hills, and Holmby Hills, and West Hollywood's number 4. So I live. Do you shave your balls? Jesus, you guys coming in hot. So Zach, is that noise too much? The opening credits just started for AEW. Someone give me a yes or no on the stream. Okay. Okay, cool. So Charleston, West Virginia. I mean, I think the only thing that might trigger the okay, no noise, good. So we're doing a live watch of AEW Dynamite right now. All right, so the Young Bucks are not doing there's an opening match. So, okay. Well, that's all right, so we got some time to talk. I mean, I think the only thing that could trigger the moderators or whoever's is maybe the wrestler's music, but if the volume's low enough, I guess we don't have to worry about that. So we got Samoa Joe. He's wrestling tonight. They're doing a promo with him and Swerve Strickland right now. Yeah. I mean, I'm just trying. I know I tried to do it once before. Maybe it was with Predator and the noise. Oh, good. So we've got, is it Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland? This is a good way to start the card. So we've got Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe brawling outside the ring. So I'll keep you guys posted. Who knows? This could be the thing that takes me into the elite streams. Because like I said, my fantasy world for the stream is to obviously talk stand-up comedy, talk hockey, talk wrestling. Wrestling's a very divisive topic, so I think that if I could get wrestling fans in here arguing, and then I mean, I guess we can talk the Dabbleverse if you have questions about it. I try not to. Well, I think I just love AEW wrestling, so I think and I'm honest. I would love to try and find a way to get fans to argue in the stream, super chatting me their opinions. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm 3 months into monetized streaming, so I'm still trying to figure out the time to do it, the frequency. Good B40 Earl stream, stand up hockey, wrestling, gangbangs. Be cool, not my life anymore. You got that right. Oh, I guess Swerve Strickland is not the opponent. This is a very strange way to start off Dynamite. But I'll keep you guys posted. The crowd's kind of dead for this, to be honest with you. But now they're going to highlights of last week. So not the best way to start off this Dynamite. There's a lot of eyes on the prize. So right now I'm not enjoying this Dynamite. But we've got almost 2 hours to go through this and see what happens. And oh, wait a minute. I think now they're teasing Trent Beretta turning on Orange Cassidy. So, yeah, it could be good. Yeah, I mean, there's 2 ways to do this video reveal. Either there's 3 ways to do it, actually. You do it in the beginning, but then nothing after that's going to be good. You do it at the 6 o'clock hour to rope people in to watch the last hour, or you do it at the end. Daddy Man t-shirt idea. The words Big Earl printed vertically inside a Ritz cracker tube. You have my permission, Dr. Nova, to make that shirt and sell it at your own leisure. Of course, I would get a substantial cut for that. I do have a t-shirt up for sale on ProWrestlingTees.com. I think I've literally sold 7 in about 8 years. Because I think the shirt's $25 and I only get like $7. It's like, what the fuck? I'd rather go with Melton and do his. I don't know what his rates are, but it can't be any worse than that. Yeah, but Logan Paul's a good wrestler. Like, for someone who's not done it I mean, he's not really done it very long. He's good. Like, he could be a very good wrestler, but, does he wanna really devote himself to training with Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins and whatnot? Um, excuse me. So, that's I don't see him wanting to do that. But, who knows? Maybe he does. Yeah, he's a natural athlete. You gotta give him that. Hell, I'm gonna watch the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. I mean, Mike Tyson looks pretty jacked. I mean, it's not sanctioned. You can't sanction a fight with a 58-year-old, but like I could see them making a deal. Tyson going, "Hey, I'm not going to hit you that hard. I might hit you hard 5 times, and I'll space it out." There's no way Jake Paul can hurt Mike Tyson. I mean, he's a big boy, Jake Paul, but all right. So the first match now is Adam Copeland against Penta. Should be a good match. Interesting style here of a strong older guy against a high flyer. I mean, oh, thank you, DJ. It's all good, dude. And I was just fucking around. People can make fun of me for having 13 Patreon members, but you can't say I don't live in a nice place. Of course, I want to live in a nicer place, but that's LA lifestyle. You always want what you don't have. So, but I've lived here right after 9/11, and I like, well, I don't have a 13-inch dick either, to be honest with you. I mean, Kongzilla in the house. We're doing kind of an AEW live watch. What are your thoughts on piss play? I don't do that stuff, man. Come on. I'm into just regular sex. Little doggy style, missionary, girl on top. I'm not into urine play and doo-doo. No, thank you. I'm not into that. But if you are into that, Drunken Donuts, that's fine. All good. Crowd seems pretty hot. It's a very interesting matchup. You've got the grizzled vet and Edge, a.k.a. Adam Copeland, versus Penta, a high-flying luchador. Well, if the girl has like big boobs on top, it's an awesome visual for me. And Edge is a pretty big guy because Penta, I've stood next to him at a comedy show. He's not exactly tiny. He's pretty jacked. So this will be an interesting clash of styles. No, Kongzilla, Edge is now wrestling in AEW under his real name, Adam Copeland. Do you think Edge is getting paid more tonight than you'll make at Hackamania? Absolutely. Is Christian is killing it, bro, right now. As the evil heel in AEW. It's the best run of his career, in my opinion. Well, I don't know if I would say, well, Dr. Nova, that's an interesting story for sure, but I don't want my stream canceled, so thank you for sharing. I don't know if I wouldn't say Edge hasn't aged a bit. Like, he looks like the bad guy from Cobra. Yeah, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the Dudley Boys had some great TLC matches. Scott Hall and Shawn Michaels, maybe the greatest ladder match of all time. Of course, they're doing a little promo right now in the match for the Young Bucks. Present backstage footage. I mean, we'll see how it goes. No, I meant facially. I mean, Edge body-wise looks great. I mean, he's got to be about my age, 55. maybe a little younger, but facially he looks a little rough. Like, I don't think he moisturizes, to be honest with you. All right, a little bit of a slow pace here for this opening match, but that's to be expected. Um, you know, nice chest slap by Penta. But Edge does have a great body for an older dude. Yeah, I mean, the miles he's put on his body is. But look at Edge. If you're watching AEW right now, tell me he's not a dead ringer for the bad guy from Cobra. I'm pretty sure Edge is into piss. With Dunkin' Donuts, I'm seeing a pattern here. You really like talking about urine. This is not a BDSM stream. We are a clean family values stream here. There's and my moderators, neither one is here tonight. Kip Smith or Gina Babina. I'm assuming that means they are in someone else's stream right now, but that's fine. I tried to wait as far as I can. Urine is sterile, so technically it's clean fun. Yeah, but we don't talk about sexual stuff in here. I'm not getting my channel striked because Dunkin' Donuts is a pervert. I thought he looked like the Cobra villain as well. Maybe a little less chin, but damn, yeah. I mean, it's pretty frightening. Dang, I'm getting old. That WrestleMania Edge was at as a kid in Toronto was the last one before my fandom died. Do you think the referee is getting paid more tonight than you'll make at Hackamania? It's probably about the same. You guys seem very concerned with what I'm getting paid at Hackamania. Put it this way, I'm getting paid enough to leave my home and do a 5-hour drive both ways. Now, if Hackamania was in New Jersey or in the Midwest or New York, I would not be going. It would not be financially feasible for me. But I'm looking forward to it. For I've been told the ticket sales are good. I mean, for a month out, a little over a month out. What's on my playlist for a 5-hour drive? I have a playlist on my 80s or on my Spotify list. It's all 80s butt rock. Well, I don't know how much Ray is getting paid, and I don't really care. But, you guys know that comedy shows are based on several different pay structures, like, how large a social media you have. Now, I believe I have the second most social media followers behind Carl. And I have more TV credits than literally the whole festival put together. So I'm being paid based on those facts. I mean, I don't ask you guys how much you get paid. So, I mean, if you add up all the networks I've been on, it's been, let me see here. I'm Dying Up Here was on Showtime. Roast Battle's on like 3 or 4 networks. It's crazy. It's on Comedy Central. It's on Peacock. It was on Paramount Plus. I've been on Netflix, The Real Rob Show, Adult Swim. My cartoon, The Jellies, is on like 3 different networks. It's on HBO Max, Adult Swim, the Cartoon Network. So, I've been on quite a lot of networks. Ray is going to be paid per laugh he generates. So there's your answer. I was not on an episode of The Golden Girls. See, Drunken Donuts, I'll play with you. I don't mind trolls. I embrace them. Because there's nothing you guys can say that's going to make me upset. I battled Jimmy Carr on international television in front of about 2,000 people. You guys ain't going to break me. I'm like Stallone in Lockup when Donald Sutherland walks by the cell and Stallone just looks at him and goes, "You won't break me." I'm unbreakable because I'm happy in my life. most people in Dabbleverse world, they're not happy. Their happiness is only based on having more than whoever they're talking about, and nobody has more than me. Thank you very much. Well, but I mean, in the world of comedy, Dr. Chow, obviously I'm not a famous comic. If I was a famous comic, I wouldn't be doing Hackamania, to be honest. But I am a fairly established comic, so I have my. Uh, let me put this the right way. I have my. I know my worth, and if I don't get my worth, I don't go to the gig. There's a reason I headline the Comedy Store every Saturday night now, because they know I bring a fair amount of people into the room, and I can do an hour to a tired audience and wake them the fuck up. Well, I won't say I'm the man with the most by far, but I don't think too many people doing Hackamania have been on 10 networks. So now, if it was based on Patreon subscribers, I shouldn't even do the festival. But I'm trying to figure out how to make my Patreon better. But I also don't care that much about bilking my fans for $5 a month. Like, I put up a long set. It's the newest video I have on Patreon. It's a 45-minute set at the Comedy Store where I'm doing incredibly well. I think that's worth $5. How are your dry bar numbers? I don't have a dry bar special. I've been put on Countdown to Young Bucks, 19 minutes. I've been put on hold for several commercials and voiceover gigs, but I've never been given a holding deal. Because if you're put on a holding deal, I would say 70% of those shows never get made. So you get paid basically for nothing. So has Pauly Shore ever grabbed your ass? No, but Andy Dick has, and I almost broke his face in half. Any interesting P. Diddy stories? Daddy Man used to lounge on a whale's jawbone beside the pool. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. So that's why when John from Win by Two said I was boring, how many people in the Dabbleverse have suntanned on a whale's jawbone? Come on. You headline the Comedy Store. Ray gives head in line at the store. That's a good time for me to say, let's thank the tippers tonight. The fan funders. Trip to my loop, $5. Thank you so much. Let me get my energy drink. Oh, it's right there. Woo! Well, I don't know about Ray's personal financial situation. And once again, I don't care. I really don't. See, that's why I'm not very good in the Dabbleverse, because, hold on, I'm getting someone sending me a picture of the merch booth from AEW Dynamite. Let's, okay, love it. Just looking at some pictures of the merch. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure these energy drinks aren't the best thing for me to have, but like I've always said, if these are the worst things I put in my body, I'm okay with that. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I don't. Those dry bar numbers, it's not really a big deal to have them. I think the two best ways to have a special are still the two big ones, YouTube or Netflix. I mean, obviously, I'd rather be on Netflix. My friend Alex Edelman has a new special on HBO. So HBO, YouTube, and Netflix. I mean, I think YouTube you're in control of. Um, my 45-minute set I put up on YouTube from the Comedy Store, I think in like 3 days had 4,000 views, which is a lot for me. And then I had to take it down, so that kind of sucked. But you got to do it like Ari Shaffir style, where I think his last special was on YouTube, and he said, "Pay me what you want for it." Some people paid him $1, some people didn't pay him at all, some people paid him $100. It's very much like super chats. So, but Netflix obviously is the biggest streaming vehicle in the world. So, I'd want to be on that. But, YouTube's pretty big if you can get in the algorithm. Did you watch Attell's latest special? I don't watch specials because I don't want to watch comedy. I want to do it. Pots and Pans. Hey, Skakel, thinking of changing name to Tighty Parts. Good idea? A bad idea, dude. I like Pots and Pans. It shows a certain amount of creativity. But I like your style. Pots and Pans. What's your favorite Chinese food dish? Orange chicken. Thank you very much. So this match between Adam Copeland and Penta, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying it's like Hogan Warrior at WrestleMania 6, but it's a good opening match. A little slow pace, but Edge, he's letting Penta take the majority of the cardio aspects. Not a damn thing. Come on, Dr. Nova. Don't be doing Boone Shakalaka bits in here. Why do rabbits have quiet sex? Because they got cotton balls. I got eyeballs. I don't know Seinfeld. Never met him, to be honest with you. Never met him. I mean, he was the OG of fucking under 18-year-olds with, what was that, Shoshana Lonstein or whatever her name was. She was 17, but in New York, that was legal, I think. Stacy Keibler or Alita. Alita was very nice to me at the Ric Flair roast. I walked by her booth and she's like, "Earl, let's take a picture." I'm like, I didn't even know she knew my name. And did Andy Dick bring Elisa Jordana around the comedy club? Not that I saw. Damn, Dr. Nova, you really are. Do you know the difference between a big pussy and a little pussy? Big pussy will scratch you, but little pussy won't hurt you. Hello. For those of you not knowing what Dr. Nova is doing, there used to be a homeless comic by the name of Boom Shakalaka. And he was really, he would do like stolen street jokes, but he was really funny. I can't tell you what I've jerked off to. Drunken Donuts. I mean, how would you like it if someone else said, "Did you ever jerk off to Drunken Donuts' mom?" I mean, would you like me to answer that question? I did. Hello! My buddy banged Deborah McMichael. She's pretty hot. I mean, I like both. I mean, Stacy Keibler is probably a little more my type. But I don't really have a type. I'm a vibe guy. That's a Gaylord Dingler. My girlfriend lost 30 pounds at the gym. The machine ripped her leg off. Hello! Oh, I don't really care, Dr. Chow, to be honest with you. I don't watch the Dabbleverse shows anymore. I used to, but it just got too repetitive for me. So, I don't really, it doesn't enter my mind into who's a virgin and who isn't. There's not a lot of ladies, man, in the Dabbleverse. Which is why if I was single, that I think I can do quite well at Hackamania. Try Vince, the lawyer. He's great. I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't. You can bring up whatever you want, Dr. Chow. you got to understand, as a 55-year-old comic, I'm done caring about other people. I care about myself. I've finally learned after 25 years into LA comedy, you got to be selfish, man, and you got to think about yourself. So we got about 10 minutes before the Young Bucks in this vaunted video. Interesting that they're doing it in the midway point of the first hour. Now, we do have Okada wrestling tonight, so I will be looking forward to that. But he's a show and a diverse. You guys got to take some English lessons, man. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. I have a story with Trish Stratus from back in the day, but who cares? She's nice. I have met Trish Stratus. Very nice. I met her at the WrestleMania where Hulk Hogan saved Eugene. I was backstage because I was dating the manager of Motorhead, and she was they were doing Triple H's, I think, The Game theme song, and then I went backstage beforehand and after as well, and I think that was the one where The Undertaker fought Kurt Angle, and I just remember after that match, they were both limping, hugging each other. I'm like, fuck, this wrestling really is real. And then I sat down on a couch next to Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, and he looks at me and goes, young man, what do you think of wrestling today? I'm like, it sucks. And he just looks at me and goes, yeah, it does. Tony Khan is desperate for ratings. He absolutely is. But you know what? It's working, because how many of us are watching Dynamite tonight outside of me who normally wouldn't be watching it? And this is what AEW has to do. They have to find a way to get WWE fans watching the product. That is where I got the pick with Triple H. She's very nice. Did you ever get a writer's job at WWE? No. I spoke with Shane McMahon once at a sushi restaurant. He was very nice. I forget who he was with, but we were sitting. Wow, Edge just took a code red right on his neck, and he took it. He took it. I mean, his body inside has to be a fucking wreck. But, he basically asked me what kind of storylines I would do. And I was like, 80s bad guy cheats. And then the good guy, for lack of a better word, hulks up and wins. And he just looks at me and goes, yeah, we're not about that anymore. AEW needs to stop catering to the smarks if they want to grow the audience. See, I think they can do both. You cater to the smarks, like the ones who care. Oh my God, Okada's here. Oh my God, Ospreay's here. Oh my God, Mercedes Moné is here. Match is over as you speared Penta. Very good match. But their problem is long-term storytelling. Like tonight's the perfect example of, okay, you're going to show whatever you're going to show with the Young Bucks, and then what happens next week? Is this just a one-time thing? And AEW, I think, they do cater to matches, not stories. Like Ospreay and Takeshita. Outside of them both being Callis family members, there really wasn't a story behind them. Because Ospreay's not really in the Callis family. He's United Empire. Uh-oh. The lights just went out on Edge. Let's see what the reveal is. Oh, shit. It's Julia Hart and Brody King beating the shit out of Edge. House of Black. I'd be down with a Malachi Black Edge You got to give Edge this. He still gives it his all. Uh-oh. Now, who's going to come out to save Edge? Julia Hart's a star. I just hope she's a star in AEW, not WWE in a few years. Now, here comes Willow Nightingale. She's got some big tits, I got to be honest with you. All right, she gets Julia Hart down. Uh-oh, now you got Brody King. He's not about to hit Willow Nightingale. Maybe Mercedes Moné comes out. I mean, this is kind of a random... See, this is the problem with AEW. There's just too much randomness. Like, why would Willow Nightingale save Edge? Well, there is a match at AEW Dynasty. Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe against House of Black. I'm down with that. The Wild Samoans, man. Are you jealous Triple H got the bone China? Not really. I am trying to podcast every day. Or at least 5 out of the 7 days. Also another match at AEW Dynasty. So Julia Hart against Willow Nightingale. I mean, she had great tits, respectfully. But, I mean, they've got to find a way, B40, B40, to merge the two. I think they're in Virginia. So, Punk just posted in his Instagram he's watching hockey. Are the Blackhawks playing? There is a good game tonight. What is the game on TNT tonight? Sorry, I have to. Golden Knights and Oilers. That's a big game. I might have to go back and forth on that one. I mean, listen, AEW's got some problems, no doubt about that. They're just, but, listen, everyone shits on Tony Khan. And, yeah, is he doing the greatest job? He's probably not. I mean, at the end, he's a fan with money. So... if AEW wasn't around, we'd all be bummed out. What am I, Mel Tillis? That the WWE is the only game in town. So, I think, in my opinion, AEW has... Oh, there's an interesting, funny sketch between Shibata and Renee Paquette. Yes, Dustin Rhodes, I think, is facing Samoa Joe. But I think, the problem with AEW is just their long-term storytelling. I think they have the better roster, to be honest with you. I mean, look at their heavyweight, or I guess you don't really have heavyweight divisions, but I mean, look at some of the wrestlers they have on their roster. MJF, Ospreay, Omega, Okada, Malachi Black. Yeah, I mean, he's a wrestling fan with money. I mean, Tony Khan's like me, but a billionaire. So, but what they don't have, and what WWE does have, is the writing and the storytelling ability, and obviously the production value. But they can do it, though. If you look at All In London, all right, the segment with the Young Bucks is up next. But, they need someone like, someone like me, to be honest with you, to walk into a writer's room, the creative room. I don't know who else is in that room. I know Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt are on the creative team. I'm assuming Tony Khan's in the room. They throw out their ideas, and I go, listen, I'm a fan. So in a lot of ways, I'm the least important person in this room. But in a lot of ways, I'm the most important person in this room because I'm the guy who buys the t-shirts. I'm the guy who watches the television shows. I'm the guy who pays for the tickets to go to whatever pay-per-view is floating my attention. So although you don't want to cater only to fans, I think I'm a smart fan. Like Sting's my favorite wrestler of all time. Would I say make him the champion? No. It's not realistic to have a 64-year-old manager, world champion. But, like my idea for the Devil would have been done completely different. Because if you look at the Devil storyline just before the Young Bucks segment comes in, it's the best written storyline in AEW history. I thought it was the perfect length of time. Now, I don't know if they did this on purpose or it was just they were using whoever was at the show that day, but the Devil's attackers and the Devil himself, the attack on Jay White, they were a different group. They were skinnier. The attack on Bowens, they were a little bigger. And then the attack on Hangman Page, they were all fucking jacked. All four. The four henchmen and the Devil himself were fucking jacked. Now, I don't think they did it on purpose. Like, hey, let's switch it out so nobody knows. But it worked that way. I had a friend of mine who wrestles in WWE, and even he was like, hey, Earl, who do you think it is? I said, well, here's who I hope it is. I wanted it to be Dolph Ziggler. Because you look at the press TNA got when Ziggler went over there. TNA was trending for the first time I've ever seen them trend. And if Ziggler couldn't do it, maybe Mustafa Ali. If he couldn't do it, maybe Matt Riddle. Or, in the ultimate, you have the Devil be Ziggler, the henchman be Mustafa Ali, Riddle, and maybe like a Shawn Spears or a Kyle O'Reilly. That's what I would have said. Because, if they pitched me the Devil storyline in that creative room, I'd be like, you can't do that. You can't have Adam Cole be the Devil when he's got a broken ankle and can't fucking wrestle. And MJF is the main guy they're going after, but he's going to take months off to heal up. So now you're left with Roderick Strong in the Kingdom. Now, Roderick Strong is over. I was at a global GCW card where a guy in the front row had a Roderick Strong shirt on and said, Adam. And for a 5-hour wrestling show, the whole crowd was yelling Adam the whole time. So he's kind of over, but he's not over enough to carry the storyline. And the Kingdom, I've never seen those guys get a huge pop. And I would have said this in the creative room. So I was watching. Probably Drunken Donuts. Yeah, I mean that's probably accurate. B40. Well, I mean, I don't know if Adam Cole needs to hit the gym. He's never going to look like the Ultimate Warrior. So I'm okay with that. So if you're watching AEW right now, tune in because this is the Young Bucks segment. This is what we're all here for. I listened to Eric and Conrad. I'd love to do a podcast like that. I could play any theater in the country if I was on a show like that big. But fuck it, we'll make this stream popular. I don't care if we only have 12 people in here. I'm going to do it. All right, now there's a segment with Stokely Hathaway, Willow, Edge, Mark Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston. All right. Okay, here we go, guys. This is the segment we've all been waiting for. I miss Nigel McGuinness. I guess he's only on Collision. He's funny to me. All right, here we go.
All right. I think the TV audience is ready to see this footage. So without further ado, let's roll it. Hang on. Give the people a little bit of context.
All right.
AEW, we have a massive pay-per-view coming up, April 21st. AEW Dynasty. The finals, Matthew, of this tag team tournament is FTR versus the Young
This
Bucks.
better deliver, man.
It got me to think. The last time we wrestled these guys was at All In. I still have some wounds that they haven't really healed.
Mama. Ben Jones, we're watching AEW right now.
This is the perfect time to talk about it right now. It was the biggest show in company history. The biggest wrestling show that we've ever been a part of.
All right.
That we were about to be a part of with FTR versus the Young Bucks. A lot of fans and a lot of critics said whoever wins this match will probably be.
All right, they're doing a little pre-story to their beef with FTR.
Before that match, Nicholas, there was a incident backstage involving two individuals. The first being the scapegoat in this entire situation, Jack Perry. Jack's a lovable kid, also from Southern California, just like us. And, now think about it, he kind of reminds me a lot of us at his age.
Oh, I thought you guys said you couldn't hear it. I'll take the risk of getting struck. I don't have any strikes, so right now it's just, since there's no music, it's just people talking. All right. Now they're talking about CM Punk.
Maybe FTR were the masterminds behind this entire thing. You can't say that. You can't say that, right? You don't know that.
I mean, I'll take the risk, but I appreciate it, Kip Smith. I realize that this might not be that interesting, watching me watch something and commenting on it, but we're trying different things on this stream. No, thank you, Kip Smith. All right. It's a little long in the tooth already. Now, I've been told this footage that they're going to air makes CM Punk look bad. We'll see.
If you had to ask me or anybody else in this room, I think we can all agree that there should be a giant asterisk.
By the way, hit the like button if you can. Let me thank my super tipper, Trip to My Lou, $5. Thank you very much. Now, man, I like supporting the little guys. Well, listen, what if that got my stream to the next level? Doing commentary on old pornos. It would kind of be like Attell going, what was that Showtime show he had, watching old porn? All right, here we go. Oh, wow, they are showing the tape. There's Jungle Boy and CM Punk. It's pretty good footage, to be honest with you. They're just talking. They got Samoa Joe in the background. CM Punk seems a little bit animated. Now Jungle Boy's amping up. This is pretty good, actually. Whoa. I mean, CM Punk's definitely the aggressor. I mean, he didn't really choke him out, to be honest with you. Okay. That's pretty good footage.
Yeah, there you have it. That wasn't the worst part about this entire incident. Not even close. For me, the worst part about this whole thing.
Interesting.
Creating a wrestling show, naming a wrestling show, feeling the building.
Yes, days old porn.
Ever witnessed a wrestling show only to be so distracted by something so stupid
Interesting.
that you lose on your big night. And then at the end, FTR, you have the balls to stick your hands out and ask us to shake your damn hands. At Dynasty,
Interesting.
shaking hands with you, you pricks. Be ready.
Okay. I don't mind that. It's pretty good.
Well, Taz, we talked about it earlier in the night. Sometimes, life, unexpected events can get.
Okay. Oh, it's absolutely a shoot. So to do a quick review of this, you had CM Punk and Jack Perry involved in a emotional conversation. CM Punk made the first move and put Jack Perry in, I guess you'd call it a front choke, but he did not choke him out. That was the rumor that CM Punk kind of bitched out Jack Perry. But looking at that, I don't think it was, Jack Perry doesn't look as bad. CM Punk started it. I wouldn't say it was a sucker punch, but it was more of a sucker push. I did not watch the Curb Your Enthusiasm final. I've never watched an episode. Well, the rumors were always that CM Punk had choked out Jungle Boy Jack Perry. So I think everyone thought that made Jack Perry look like a bitch, like it was a square up, even fight. And, seeing that footage just now, I don't look down on Jack Perry as much as I did. So thank God Samoa Joe was there. So, it wasn't, I don't know if I'd say it was worth the build up. Yes, Punk absolutely had him in a chokehold until Samoa Joe broke it up. But I think my point was that I had always heard that he choked Jack Perry out, like he was unconscious on the floor, and that just never happened. So, CM Punk, everyone's shitting on AEW and the Bucks for bringing this up, but he brought it up during WrestleMania week. So, I think the biggest thing is what happens now. I mean, you've got the FTR Bucks match with at Dynasty, and this kind of has, I think, AEW's biggest problem now. You build up this big one night, we're going to show the video, and now what? I don't think it's embarrassing, Omar. I think that you've got to answer what CM Punk said, and this is their way. If CM Punk never brought up the incident, I would say I would agree with you. They're just milking this. But I do think AEW looks stronger that this was their reply. This was their rebuttal. I mean, CM Punk in that interview with Ariel Helwani made it seem like he was just an innocent victim. This video shows a different story. He was not an innocent victim. I would say he was almost the aggressor. Now, CM Punk fans might say, well, Jack Perry's the one who started it with the broken glass comment when he looked into the camera and said, "We use real glass, bitch," or whatever he said. And they should be desperate for ratings. I mean, they've hit a ratings peak. And I guarantee you this worked tonight. I guarantee you right now on AEW Dynamite, WWE fans for the first time, if not ever, but in a long time, are watching Dynamite. And that's the whole idea. Now, next week, how do you follow this up? That's the key. yeah, I mean that's the greatest shoot to work storylines. Um, and that's where WWE is bigger. Like, if you look at the initial backstage brawl with Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and CM Punk, Ace Steel, the All in London main event, if Vince McMahon and Triple H were running things, absolutely, it's Kenny Omega against CM Punk. So, but that's just how WWE would have done it. Instead, you had Kenny Omega in a meaningless trios match. So I just never understood that. Well, the big video reveal has been done. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm probably going to end the stream in a few minutes. We'll say 5 minutes just to give you guys a chance to settle in. I see Cash Wheeler wearing a Bart Simpson t-shirt. I wonder if he had to get permission for that. Well, I mean, obviously it's just security footage. So you don't know, no one was mic'd up. It would be great if they had the audio. Maybe Jack Perry said something about CM Punk's mom or something. Yeah, but it's smart though. See, to me, it's smart, Omar. Now, because the rumors, if you believe the dirt sheets and all the other, ways to, read about wrestling, is that CM Punk was just some incredible ass kicker who choked out Jack Perry. I mean, that was the narrative, and this video kind of defeats that narrative. Now, if Samoa Joe doesn't break up the fight, does he choke out Jack Perry? Maybe he does. Maybe Jack Perry pushes him into the monitors and gets on top of him and beats the shit out of him. Who knows? I mean, I've said it before, obviously CM Punk was a shitty MMA fighter, but a shitty MMA fighter is still going to kick 99% of the general public's ass. So, I don't know. It was okay. I mean, I give this segment a B. Wasn't like, oh my God, but I think it definitely helped change the narrative of, Jack Perry got his ass kicked. Like, to me, what I would have, I said it earlier in the stream, I would have absolutely had Jack Perry in this segment. It's a great way to bring him back in. Well, but I mean, Omar. Yeah, but see, to me, it's brilliant using CM Punk for ratings. You don't have to pay the guy. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, wrestling's only better when you have companies going for it. When WWE has competition and, AEW has competition. AEW's been better since Ziggler went to TNA because now they were forced to up the ante, So trust me, as a wrestling fan of 40 plus years, wrestling's always better when all the companies are doing good. You basically force the companies to do better. Now, AEW's biggest problem, and there's no doubt about it, is that, like I said 5 times on this stream alone, is the long-term storytelling. So, Earl, who was your favorite wrestler? My first favorite wrestler. I mean, I would say Kamala. And then oddly enough, I got World Class Championship Wrestling on cable in the 80s. So I liked the Von Erichs, Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff. And then I got into Sting, Ric Flair. Well, I mean, you see, you guys are all young enough. Yes, Jack Perry is Jungle Boy. Well, it's a weird thing right now because right now he's in New Japan, but AEW has like a loose partnership with New Japan. So, well, I don't know, Omar. I don't know what their plans are. I mean, they have had a good few months, maybe not ratings wise, but like, they got some good mainstream publicity bringing in Osprey, Okada, and Mercedes Moné. but now they have to use them correctly. Mercedes Moné should not have a microphone. She's just not good on the mic, and she never really has been. Her thing is wrestling. So I don't know why she hasn't wrestled yet. I'll say this. I love the way they brought in Okada as like the Asian Ric Flair almost. And I think Ospreay, I just hope they don't overuse Ospreay because, he goes all out, pardon the language, in his matches. And, he's going to end up like Kenny Omega, breaking down. And because you can't wrestle that style that Omega and Ospreay do and not have it affect you is grueling on your body. So, um, now they have to have the storylines. Danielson and Ospreay is kind of a weird match. There's been a little build up for it. Doesn't really make sense. Neither one hates the other one. Well, that's a good point, Omar. I'm an AEW fan, but I'm agreeing with you. Like if I'm and allegedly or supportedly, whatever the right word is, it's probably not supportedly. I don't even know if that's a word. She has her own writer. Like she has someone specifically brought in to do storylines. Now, maybe she's not fully recovered from her broken ankle. I was at that match in Long Beach when she wrestled for the women's championship against Willow Nightingale, and she broke her ankle. Maybe it's not fully healed. Although that was about a year ago, if memory serves me. But, ankles are, very sensitive. Ankles are like the freeway, man. There's all kinds of shit down by your ankle, tendons, ligaments, bones. So, but, she should have a manager, like a Stokely Hathaway, anyone, so the pressure of the mic is not on her. I would not, they're not getting their money's worth out of her yet. She's like Osprey in the ring. Like she's got to wrestle, and then people go, "Holy shit, this girl's amazing." Yes, ECW is every wrestling company is a long list of crippled guys, or frankly, guys and girls who are dead. Look at Mike Awesome. Like Mike Awesome in ECW was amazing to watch. His matches with was it Tanaka? Masada Tanaka? Am I well, you should super chat me if you just farted or sucks. Come on. But you look at the style and the hardcore matches that Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Speaking of super chats. Favorite luchador, WCW and why? Is an X-Pac canceled? Mizark? I like La Parka. Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Thank you for your wrestling knowledge. Yeah, so maybe my criticism of not having her wrestle is maybe she's hurt still. So but she still should have a manager, like someone who can step up for her on the mic. Listen, some people aren't great on the mic. I'm a great comic. It's just natural. Maybe I shouldn't say I'm a great comic, but I'm good on the mic. It's just I always have been. Even in the 4th grade play, I had one line. I got the biggest laugh maybe that I've ever gotten in my life. It's just natural. With her, it's not natural. She's a great athlete. I'm a big Osprey fan. You know me. Finding ECW organically, just flipping channels is one of my greatest memories. Yeah, if you look at the Sandman, he could barely fucking walk. Half those guys are dead or crippled. Just Incredible versus Tugboat. I never saw that one. How much longer for the stream? Probably not too much longer. I've done an hour and a half, and I'm not complaining about the super chats, but to make $7 in an hour and a half, I might as well just watch the rest of Dynamite alone. So probably we'll go. Let's fast forward. I stopped the. Let's see what's on Dynamite right now. We can fast forward through the commercials. Oh wait, there's Osprey. Hold on, little Will Osprey here. All right, a little promo for Danielson and Osprey. I'll watch that. Damn, Peter Chicken Man Brennan bringing up some knowledge. We're going to listen to the Will Osprey promo, and then we'll call it a night. We'll go 5 more minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kip Smith, for the thumbnails, and thank you for Jordan Lee, who just sent me a bunch of new thumbnails. Free of charge. I thank you guys very much. The fans, there's many ways you can support Earl. If you can't super chat, that's fine. I don't panhandle for fucking money. You can hit the like button. You can retweet the stream. All right, here comes Will Osprey. It's quiet time now. The aerial assassin. All right. I might have to buy a Brub t-shirt. Well, Dr. Nova. All right, here he comes. The great Will Osprey. I agree with you on that, Omar.
So yeah, I've been thinking about this all week, and I've only just seen that Brian interview, so I need to respond to that as well. So my apologies, guys. I just want to talk. I asked Tony. He said you got 5 minutes. TV time's expensive. So there's this rumor going around, right? There's this rumor that I'm afraid of the grind.
Interesting.
And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea where this conversation has come from.
Will Osprey.
One of the only guys that are traveling every single week to the UK.
Kind of talking bad about Triple H right now. Interesting.
I'm delivering some of the best professional wrestling matches this world has ever seen, bro.
I love Will Osprey. Hold on, let me just pause this real fast. So what Will Osprey is referencing right now is that he's afraid of the grind. And that's a direct response from Triple H, kind of poo-pooing Osprey, saying, I don't want guys in WWE who are afraid of the grind. And, there's a lot of things you could say about Will Osprey. You could say the way he wrestles is just a fucking spot fest, and that it's really not wrestling. It's just choreographed dance moves, essentially. But the one thing you cannot say about Will Osprey is that he's afraid of the grind. This guy lives in the UK. He flies over to where, like tonight, Virginia, does an interview or a match, goes back to the UK to be with his fucking family. Yes, the grind being the road. And, because Triple H was basically like, anyone who's in AEW doesn't like the grind. They wrestle once a week. And there's some validity to that. I think some of the wrestling in AEW could be sharper if they wrestled more. But, it's just the way AEW is structured. It's very much like TNA. Not TNA now, but like TNA with Sting and Kurt Angle. That was kind of the selling point of TNA to Sting, was wrestle once a week versus 5 times in WWE or whatever. So true hurts, and he just admitted it. Sorry. I disagree with you, Omar. You're a wrestling fan, and you seem like you're more WWE than AEW, which is great. I really mean that. I don't hate on anyone who likes WWE better than AEW, but as well as I do, if you're an Osprey fan, there's no way you can say this guy doesn't grind. He goes to New Japan. He'll wrestle the next week in, South Carolina, and then he'll wrestle the next week in London. He'll fly back. That's the grind. I don't know if you've ever flown over to the UK or to Japan. That's a fucking grueling flight. And that's grueling for guys. I don't know what you do for a living, but that's a grueling flight for me. And I don't have to fucking put on a 5-star match like he does. So I think Oh, I think Triple H knows who Ospreay is. He tried to sign him. And, Will Ospreay chose AEW. So I think they're both right. I mean, I do think, Ospreay's, you cannot say he doesn't he doesn't grind. That's just, a little butthurt probably on Triple H. Triple H and WWE, they're the hot girl who got turned down. Do they need Ospreay in WWE? They don't. Look at CM Punk. They don't need CM Punk. All right, let's finish the rest of Ospreay's speech.
They are willing lives to this type of bait. But seeing as the guy that said it is only in the position he's in because he was grinding on the boss's daughter.
Ooh.
You are in no position to tell me what the grind is all about, my friend, because you have no idea what I fight for. So let this be a painful little jab back and a gentle reminder that you do not throw stones at an assassin with a machine gun. Now, Brian, I just hear what you said there, my friends, and you said, I'm stronger than you, which I am. I'm faster than you, which I am, and the only way you have a chance at beating me is if you can ground the aerial assassin. Now, I say this with every bit of respect under the sun, sunshine, but healthier men have tried and failed. Younger men have tried and failed, and better men have tried and failed, but yet, you are Brian Danielson.
I like this.
You are a living legend in this game, son. And I cannot say it anymore. I cannot call myself the best wrestler in the world until
But Omar, see, this is the kind of discussion I want. WWE fans and AEW fans. And I don't think we're arguing, but Triple H is a little butthurt that Ospreay said, no, I want to play in AEW. Come on, dude. Like, listen, I've been very complimentary of WWE. Their production values, their storytelling is miles ahead of AEW. But probably the top wrestler in the world right now is Will Ospreay. Like, he's in his physical prime. He's great on the mic. And he turned WWE down. That's got to sting a little bit. Now, whether it was the right or wrong decision, let's see how AEW handles Scott Hall, Peter Chicken Man Brennan. But, what he just said is so true. Now, Triple H did the grind. I'm not going to say Triple H did not grind. He started off as a jobber in WCW, worked his way up to what he is in WWE. But let's be honest, the only reason he's in the position he's in is because he was fucking the owner's daughter. Now you might say that's a brilliant move. I guess it is. But, it's like I once had a model ask me out. And I had a choice between two. This girl worked at the Comedy Store, but she was a beautiful model. She needed a side gig. And I had another comic who was not a model, but I just vibed with her better. So I started dating her instead of the model. Now, this model was beautiful, still is, and we talk to this day. But she was a little butthurt that I chose basically the AEW of women over her. No, I do not know Tony Khan. Sorry, let's finish up with this Ospreay.
Dynasty until after I pin you in that ring because these people have paid a lot of money to see the best wrestlers go at it.
Maybe, Omar.
This is AEW where the best wrestle. And it is my time, Mr. Danielson, to show every single person what I'm about, what I bring to the table, and why I am the ace of all elite wrestling. Brian Danielson, you find out Sunday, the 21st of April, why my name is Will Ospreay, and I am on another level.
All right, that's a good promo. Little shot at Triple H. I don't mind that. I mean, who knows, Omar? You know, he might be, like Sting and just go there when it's too late. Well, thank you, Dr. Nova. Like, listen, I mean, obviously everyone wants their WrestleMania moment, but there are some people who, Ospreay is the biggest wrestler in Japan, the biggest wrestler in the UK. So, he might be one of the few who can turn down WWE and not look back. Would I love to see Ospreay, I can say Seth Rollins, in front of 80,000 people? Yeah, but I mean, you don't think the WWE watches AEW? You don't think Triple H's dig at Will Ospreay was because he watches AEW? Like, come on. It goes both ways, Omar. Of course they watch the competition. You don't think WWE watches TNA? You don't think Triple H had someone watch TNA to see how Ziggler went over? So, yeah, I mean, Ricochet is awesome, but look how he was in WWE. Like, I don't think, I think it depends where you are in life. In WWE, like Sting was probably at a point in his life in 2014 where he wanted the video rights. And he just said, fuck it, I'll job to Triple H. I mean, that was embarrassing, him jobbing to Triple H. That was horrible. So I do think a lot of people look at Sting going to WWE and going, okay, how did he get treated? Not very good. And they look at a guy like Ricochet, who is very Ospreay level in terms of his abilities. And, they're not a fan. I don't want to get treated like that. And I think, the one I think positive AEW has over WWE is if someone like Ospreay signs in AEW, he's going to be in automatic title contention. I don't think he would in WWE. So now, of course, who knows? I mean, and trust me, I don't think Ospreay is going to be in WWE anytime soon after that grinding away on the boss's daughter. But that is a great line. That is a great line. Earl, do you agree Roman Reigns had the greatest title reign of all time? It's up there, It's definitely up there. Most likely to do roast battle, Johnny Ace or Kevin Dunn. Probably Johnny Ace. Yes, they watch, but they don't mention them every single week. Well, I don't know if AEW mentions them every week. But, you could go on YouTube, Omar, and there's plenty of compilation videos of WWE talking about AEW. And certainly plenty to talk AEW compilation where they're bringing up WWE. I mean, I think this week was the exception. But here's what I find funny, though, is like what you're saying is, why did the Bucks bring up CM Punk? Why did Will Ospreay just bring up Triple H? But Triple H is the one who started this roast battle. Triple H is the one who went on a major network and basically said Ospreay doesn't like the grind. Of course, Ospreay is going to have a rebuttal for that. And CM Punk is the one who went on a huge podcast with Ariel Helwani, and he's the one who brought up the AEW locker room. And I don't think it's wrong that AEW basically did a rebuttal. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think the video made CM Punk look horrible. I mean, I think it rehabbed a little bit the narrative of Jack Perry got choked out. He didn't. He never lost consciousness. No, I like Gary Hart. Who would you let drive your car in case of an emergency, Sonny or Schaub? Jesus, I'd walk. So I'm going to end the stream in 5 minutes. We'll go to the hour 50 mark. So if you guys see, but this is what I want, Omar. I want passionate fans debating. What's better, WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, GCW, PWG? I don't give a fuck what you guys like, but let's talk about it. See, we haven't talked about the Dabbleverse in about an hour, but that's probably why I've only made $7 doing this stream. Hello! But notice I have not panhandled for money. I don't do that shit. I don't have a change cup going. Smoky Mountain WWE. Damn, it's Peter Chicken Man Brennan coming in hot with the small time. I liked it when New Jack was in Smoky Mountain with Mustafa. Maybe next week we'll talk about the mass transit situation in ECW. Whew, boy, that's still tough to watch. I loved NWA, but you know, I'm a Omar. Can I ask how old you are? You don't have to give your exact age. Are you in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s? I mean, as someone who's in my 50s, I loved NWA wrestling. Like, I really thought Nikita Koloff was from Russia. Fucking guy was from Minnesota. Do you think WWE will induct Virgil into the Hall of Fame? I mean, at some point. I'm blown away that Kamala's not in the WWE Hall of Fame. Like, it's like he had great feuds with Hogan, great feud with The Undertaker. He was really The Undertaker's first big feud. Like, come on. Coco Beware's in the fucking Hall of Fame. Get the fuck out of here. All right, we got 4 more minutes, guys. So if you got any last minute questions, opinions, whatever, hit me. How could they put in Bull Nakano over Kamala and Luger? I mean, Luger probably burned a few bridges going to WCW when he did. I mean, WWE, you know, they probably hold grudges. But everyone comes back, you know. Look at the Ultimate Warrior. He basically called Pat Patterson a pedophile, Vince McMahon a steroid peddler. Well, yeah, but you can't tell me Virgil was any worse than Coco Beware. I mean, Kamala should be in. I mean, people kind of forget that Kamala, before they turned him into a fucking cartoon character, you know, was a pretty intimidating heel. I mean, look at Kamala in World Class Championship Wrestling. He had great feuds, especially with Kerry Von Erich. Oh, okay, so I'm 55, so we're the same age. So we probably, you know, grew up liking the same shit. Psycho Sid should be in the Hall of Fame, 100%. 2-time WWE champion. I think he was, I'm forgetting if he was champion in WCW, but one of the great heels of all time. But I honestly think a guy like Psycho Sid, he don't give a fuck about the Hall of Fame. Like, Warrior deep down cared. But well, I think I don't think Punk got fired for no reason. But you know, it depends who you believe. I mean, you know, I don't think you can fucking pick fights backstage. Now, if this was the '80s, that fight would have been no big deal. But I think, and you know, it depends who you believe. I mean, I have about 10 friends in AEW who are on the active roster and are behind the scenes. And I've done my internal polling of every time I see them at the Comedy Store or at a music show or whatever. I'm like, hey, just give me this straight. You like CM Punk or not? And I'm telling you right now, there's no way to verify this. I could be making it up. But you guys know me well enough by now. I'm not making this up. Not one person said, good guy. They all were like eye rolls and like, he's every bit the dick you think he is. Now, maybe he's just a acerbic guy who's just there to wrestle and is not there to make friends. Doesn't make him a dick. But, you know, when you look at, you know, he's the one common denominator in having a problem with Colt Cabana, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, Ryan Nemeth, Tony Khan. And, you know, people say, well, Earl, Page, the Bucks, and Omega, it's really one person because it's really a group. But, you know, how many negative things have you ever heard said about Kenny Omega? I haven't heard one. Now you might say, well, Ryan Nemeth, he's a jobber in AEW, but you know, Ryan's one of the nicest people I fucking know. So someone like Ryan, if you have a problem with him, the problem's probably you. Um, what current store regular you think might go Benoit? I say Mike Black. No, Mike's too nice. I'll say Yorsey Thomas. What the? What? Yeah, John Little is definitely a good answer. All right, we got. Well, we're at the minute 50. We're at the hour 50 mark already. So, if you got any last second questions. Well, I mean, I'm talking about Sid. You're talking about Sid. I did not know Patrice O'Neal. I mean, I think Sid is someone who's a country bumpkin. He probably saved his money and doesn't necessarily need the money. But I would agree with you. I mean, listen, video games, Legends contract. I know Piper was making a fair amount of money toward the end of his life just doing that stupid reality show, Legends House. But I don't think Sid. Sid's kind of a hillbilly, man. Like he literally would rather play softball than probably get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. You kind of got to respect that. But and I think Sid does like autograph signings and shit like that. So, he probably makes enough money where he's content. And, I think Warrior at some point was like, yeah, I need the video rights. But, Warrior was also kind of a smart guy from the standpoint of, he was like, fuck it, I'll just change my name to Warrior. Like, it's kind of brilliant. Well, I don't know if I would have followed it up with sour milk. Hold on, let me get the sour milk before. If you had the chance to bang them again, which one would you do? Shelby's wife or Patty Please? Well, I never banged Patty Please, but we made out. Oh boy, I mean, Patty Please, my God, her jugs were crazy. Tony, well, I don't know if I would have followed up the video. I would have just gone to commercial. I would not have followed the video with Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, who are a little stiff on the mic. I mean, I think the point of the video was well made, and then you just go to commercial. You think Larry Omaha can pull off a Tatanka haircut? That is such a deep cut that no, probably not. Probably not. Omar, ask Jim Cornette about Kenny Omega. Yeah, but I mean, usually Jim Cornette is the one guy who has a problem with Kenny Omega. I love Jim Cornette, but he's like in that Vince Russo mold where he's got problems with everyone. Who was better? Who was hotter back in the day? Trish, Tori Wilson, or Sable? If you're asking me who I would bang, let's say Trish. Do you think Tatanka could outdance Bushman? You guys are really amping up the questions. All right, we're going to go, because these questions are making me laugh. We're going to go to the 2-hour mark. So you got 7 minutes left. 7 minutes. And that's it. Jumping Jeff Farmer. We got another that will put butts in seats moment. Well, I mean, I think the ratings will be higher this week for AEW, but you got Okada on the card. It was a good promo by Ospreay. I thought a decent opening match between Penta and Edge. So, I mean, it's been a good Dynamite. Is it the greatest Dynamite of all time? No, it's not. But, they're definitely making an effort. We'll see what the ratings are tonight. I mean, the crowd's pretty hot. Pretty good build up for Dynasty. I mean, I know that Ospreay promo was good. And Ospreay and Danielson will deliver. That's going to be a great match. Who's more dangerous, Patty Please or Blue Iris's meth? Jesus, you guys are really... guys, I'd like to get questions that some of the people in the stream know about. You guys are probably losing the numbers for me when you're talking about Blue Iris's crazy son. Why not ask me a question about No Face or who was the guy in the Ding Dong show with half of a head? Better show, WCW Saturday Night or WWE Sunday? Jesus, that's pretty close. They were both awful. Party Pete or Blue Iris. I thought you said Patty Please. No, not Househead. What was his name? He was a white guy, but he had like a weird shaped head. Like he had like half of his head missing. I forget his name. He wasn't a kid, but he was probably in his late 20s, early 30s. Not Joey Gaynor. Joey Gaynor was a big comic back in the day. If you go to the Comedy Store and you look at all the pictures on the walls, like the headshots of the comics, Joey Gaynor has like fucking 3 pictures. Favorite La Parker match. Sean Odell, thank you for that super chat the other night. You came in late. I appreciate that. Well, the interesting thing is the follow-up to Danielson Ospreay. I mean, I'm going to assume Ospreay is going to win, but then what? What I hated was you bring in Zack Sabre, who's a great technical wrestler, maybe the best technical wrestler on planet Earth, for that match against Danielson, and then he's just gone. He goes back to New Japan. How about a follow-up? And Jay White against Billy Gunn. What are we talking about here? So, I mean, that's the guy who's been misused in AEW. Jay White's a fucking star. Great looking, great on the mic. And another guy who chose AEW over WWE. So they just took Forbidden Door out of Arthur Ashe Stadium. Okay, so I didn't know that. It's breaking news, breaking AEW news. I mean, listen, they've got the roster, but now they need the creative. I mean, I think I just named a bunch, and when Omega gets healthy, I think that's going to help with some of the matches. You could rerun him and Okada because a lot of people didn't see their matches in Japan. I think that, when Britt Baker comes back, she's good. I think Jamie Hayter comes back. There's some good opponents for Mercedes Moné. I mean, there's some good matchups for Mercedes. You get Julia Hart, although I think she's a little green to take on someone who's established as Mercedes. You've got Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker, Toni Storm, Willow Nightingale. I mean, there's 5 good matchups, in my opinion, for Mercedes. But they got to get her in the ring, man. I mean, that's the one thing I will say with WWE. She'd be wrestling 2 to 3 times a week, tightening up her moves and the other people's moves. Now, she's going to wrestle, once every 2 months. That's just not, it's not good enough. So we got 2 more minutes left. As soon as the clock hits 2 hours, I hit end stream. The arrow is already on the end stream. So no more last minute super chats. You got to get them in now, baby dolls. Hit the like button on your way out. Nick the Dick from Bachelor Party. Nick the what? Is that the foot long? And then some. WD production is, I mean, their production, WWE's production, you're never going to match them. It's just too good. I mean, it's but I think, going into any head-to-head competition, AEW knows that. What up, Jason? I'm literally about to end the stream. You got a minute and a half to say what you got to say. Well, I mean, I think with them, they have the best wrestlers on the roster, and that's great. But I think that you have to have a storyline. Their creative needs to be better. They need to have someone walk into creative, whether it be me or an established TV writer, and go, this is not good enough. This makes 0 sense. Like if I were in the AEW creative, this is a perfect thing to end on. I mean, Bruce Pritchard, I respect his history in the business, but, everyone sucks but him. I mean, he was brother love, for God's sakes. Let's be real. Like the AEW video game, everyone who bought that video game, myself included, is going to compare it to WWE 2K. And no, that's the last thing AEW needs is Stuttering John. But that that the video games are going to be compared to each other, just like Monday Night Raw is going to be compared to Dynamite and vice versa. I would have told them after 5 minutes of playing Fight Forever, you can't release this game. It looks like first-year art students drew up the wrestlers. We got 8 seconds, guys. Anyone have a last-second question, better get it in. 3, 2, 1.